limousine like jet flying, son of a gun.
From the past.
I am a real American.
To the present. And the future.
Who's next? Oh my God!
You are listening to Penn State's only WWE talk show, Marking Out with Jason Marcus and Matt Freiler.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Marking Out here at Penn State's Com Radio. I'm Jason Marcus alongside Matt Freiler. And guys, we have quite the week here in the world of professional wrestling. We had Fastlane on Sunday. We had a very interesting Monday Night Raw, the very first Raw on the road to WrestleMania, I guess you could say. Well, it's WrestleMania is the next pay-per-view, so they're going all in now on.
I mean, technically, it's been the road since the Royal Rumble, but
right
now is when things really start hyping up.
They don't really have a good term for that, though.
No, not at all. Just Jon Cena heel turn.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a little bit, but I guess the first thing we should start off with was the pay-per-view on Sunday, Fastlane. Matt, did you get to catch any of it?
Not live, but I did go back and watch highlights. This is like the first pay-per-view I haven't watched live since like last year, so that's kind of disappointing. But you know, I was coming back from spring break and everything, and I was kind of interested to see. You know me, I'm a Bobby Roode mark. You probably didn't care, but Bobby Roode dropped the U.S. title to Randy Orton. Whatever. It's a stupid feud with Jinder Mahal now. A triple threat, probably for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So, whatever. The fact that they're keeping Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal within, like, the same feud just has me so angry. Like, get rid of that. I don't want to see it.
What else would you see them doing with Jinder Mahal?
You know, honestly, I wouldn't be upset if he just, like...
wasn't on the card.
I mean, there's so many guys. Like, what are we seeing right now from Chad Gable? Like, we haven't really seen much. So, like, if a guy like Chad Gable's not good enough to have on TV every week, I don't know about Jinder Mahal. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, I had no interest in that six-pack challenge just because you know the feud's in it. You know that Shane McMahon's going to find some way to screw over, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and you know AJ's going to retain. And then you know Jon Cena's going to be like, oh, boo-hoo, I got no road to WrestleMania. So what? Like, besides Dolph Ziggler being excellent in the ring, which he was, sold with the best of them I've ever seen.
There was no reason to tune in because you knew, like, it was just completely predictable. The entire show is, there was no surprises really, except, I mean, I guess if the Asuka could have been surprised coming out and challenging Charlotte Flair for the title.
Yeah, that I did like to see, which a lot of people didn't expect that. A lot of people, I guess, thought it was going to be Alexa Bliss. So, yeah, that was great. That was great to see.
So, I'm excited for that matchup. I think those two are, obviously, you could probably put them as the two best female workers in the company.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That'll be a great match, and I think that'll, I mean, not for mainstream, but among us wrestling fans, that's going to outshine the mixed match between the Authority, I guess you'd call them.
Yeah, and there's a good story to that, too, because it's the streak versus the title, essentially, and Queen versus Empress. So, marketing-wise, it writes itself.
Right, and the whole Nia Jax thing is kind of interesting now, too. That happened on Raw where, Alexa and Mickey were backstage just trashing her the whole time, like, for, 10 minutes. And then Nia flips. And that was like, wow. To see that kind of raw emotion out of Nia Jax, who's always kind of just been, dominantly, really cool. And she lost it. To see that side of her was great as a character.
Yeah, so I think they'll probably end up putting her and Bliss together. And then Bliss is still the heel, which is good. Because for a little bit after Elimination Chamber, I thought they were turning her face, and maybe they were going to go with Nia.
Yeah, they were flirting with it. They were flirting with it.
But this is definitely the best case scenario, because Bliss is just a natural heel. But other than that, anything else from Fastlane that relevant?
Bludgeon Brothers.
Okay.
Love to see it. I mean, this is part of a very, very slow push that they've been getting ever since those promo videos were coming out, which I think that was back in December. The repackaging of Luke Harper and Eric Rowan has been great so far. Yeah. I think that these are two really talented guys. I like Harper a little bit more than Rowan. I think that finally it's here. Finally they're in the picture for SmackDown Tag Team titles, and I think they absolutely deserve a title shot. And right now it seems as if the Usos New Day thing, like they're kind of like teaming up, and everyone's just trying to stop the Bludgeon Brothers.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting because
hey, look, SmackDown actually has a story.
Yeah. Right, and it was interesting to see Big E and Jimmy Uso team up to where that's been like a heated rivalry over the last year.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they're uniting forces. And to have the Usos, the New Day, and the Bludgeon Brothers, I mean, that's just the talent within those teams.
Yeah.
Could make for an excellent match. I think Luke Harper is out to prove that he's just not this old guy who's like written off the show. Like, he is a good wrestler, he's a good in-ring performer, and he's going to get back to like the kind of matches he was having last year against AJ Styles, where like he was supposed to be the number one contender because he got screwed out of it. But yeah, I think Luke Harper's great, and I'm excited to see the Bludgeon Brothers.
What do you think? So, assuming that the tag team title match at WrestleMania is like the three-way, the triple threat tag team match. Do you think that makes it onto the main card, or do the Usos once again get kicked to the pre-show?
I mean, it's loaded, right? Like, the main card's loaded.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
To think about what we have right now, especially with the other side of it, with the Raw tag team titles, I would feel like just because it's Braun Strowman, that's going to take preference.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So, and it's yet to be announced. There's rumors going around that Braun might get a partner. And
who would it be, though?
Elias?
Bray?
I mean, that's true. I don't know what they're gonna do.
I could say Braun and Bray because I think I said this on a couple weeks ago in the podcast. They have yet to tap into that storyline that Bray was the one who brought Braun, through the Wyatt family again. They haven't really mentioned that, so maybe this is their way of. I mean, poor Bray.
Got to build it quick. I mean, I don't know if you just. Do you do like maybe a surprise partner? Maybe?
I'd be okay with Braun and Bray as babyface tag champions.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that Bray obviously, when that was the peak when he was with the Wyatt family, and now, I guess
he's not even on the card.
Right, they're trying with this whole Matt Hardy thing, and I think that the Hardy compound, the Ultimate Deletion, that will be more interesting than House of Horrors was, just because finally we get the Hardy family, finally we get Reby and King Maxwell and his new kid Wolfgang, and then let's talk before we go to break here. Let's talk about Jeff Hardy a little bit because. The final deletions I keep calling it the final. The Ultimate Deletion's already been filmed.
Right.
So I'm sure Jeff Hardy had a part in it, and Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer is saying that it's likely that the WWE will probably edit his part out because.
You think so?
Well, he got a DWI, and it's like very common. Like, he's got this whole history with the WWE.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, that's not. Do you think this is the straw that breaks the camel's back? Do you think he's done after this? Because I don't. I think they love Jeff, too.
I think he's coming. I mean, he's tweeting about, like, his shoulder surgery going great. So I don't think that he's gone. But I think that he might be
just get his cameo
deleted
cut.
from the deletion. But
the irony.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy, man, keep yourself out of trouble. Take an Uber next time.
Right.
You're like, we love to see you. We don't want to. I mean, he's just such an in-ring talent at his age. But no, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I love the whole TNA thing with the Senor Benjamin, their gardener, and. Man, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know. Like, Bray Wyatt's kind of like a weird character to put in there. But.
Well, also, real quick before we go to break here, they scrapped the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and are replacing it with the Fabulous Moolah.
Oh, that's right.
Memorial Battle Royal. So it would be divas instead of superstars. What are your thoughts on that?
Love it because nobody watched. I mean, the only interesting thing about the Battle Royal last year was that they tried to bring Gronk into it somehow. So that was the only reason people were like excited. So I'm all for it.
Who's your pick to win? Assuming that the Raw Championship match is Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, who do you think wins the Memorial Battle Royal?
There's going to be a ton of NXT superstars.
Yes. Actually, that's a good point. I personally think it'll be Ember Moon.
That's what I was going to say.
But actually, she's
maybe Baszler.
Yeah, but she's the NXT champion, so she doesn't really need that push.
Right.
But
I don't know if they give it to someone from NXT because there's going to be so many women. I mean,
Carmella.
No, because they're going to have a Money in the Bank storyline for her. I mean, you just can't let it go past WrestleMania. She's going to cash in.
Are there any divas from New Orleans?
I don't know. That's actually a really good point.
We'll go to break and let you ponder that thought. Keep it locked right here on Marking Out.
We are stronger, Lions pride. Stand together, blue and white. Lions pride, show the world your Penn State side. Lions pride,
Shop our winter sale in-store and online at lions-pride.com and save up to 50% on your favorite Penn State gear from brands like Nike, Under Armour, Champion, and many more.
You live it, you love it, Lions Pride.
Hey, Com Radio listeners, make sure you stay tuned in this week for all of Com Radio's coverage of the best Penn State sport matchups. Wednesday at 8 p.m., Penn State men's basketball takes on Temple in round 1 of the National Invitational Tournament. Thursday at 7 p.m., Penn State Lady Lions basketball takes on Radford in round 1 of the Women's National Invitational Tournament. Friday at 5 p.m., Penn State baseball takes on NJIT in Game 1 of this weekend's series. Friday at 8 p.m., Penn State wrestling competes in the third day of the NCAA Championship. Saturday at 1 p.m., Penn State baseball takes on NJIT in Game 2 of this weekend's series. Saturday at 8 p.m., Penn State wrestling competes in the fourth day of the NCAA Championship. Sunday at noon, Penn State baseball takes on NJIT in the third game of this weekend's series. Sunday at 4 p.m., Penn State men's volleyball takes on St. Francis. Don't miss the best way to catch all of your favorite Penn State sports and tune in all week long, here on Com Radio. This year, the Penn State community was able to raise $10,151,000 for Thon 2018. And Lions Pride wants to thank you for helping Lions Pride donate more than $28,000 to Thon 2018. Lions Pride's happy to play a part in the Four Diamonds mission to provide monetary assistance to families and children battling childhood cancer, as well as help fund top-tier research at Penn State Children's Hospital. Thank you again for helping Lions Pride, and we look forward to continuing the mission of Thon in 2019.
Now back to Com Radio's only WWE talk show, Marking Out with Jason Marcus and Matt Freiler.
Turn it down! I don't have the voice for that right now, but nonetheless, back here on Marking Out, Matt Freiler, Jason Marcus, WWE talk show here on Com Radio. And, well, that's kind of an interesting thing I guess we could talk about now that we're on the Seth Rollins train. The triple threat match for the IC title.
I think they'll add more people to that match. Initially, they were saying they would add Braun. Obviously, he's got his whole program with a tag titles match. Elias still doesn't have a program. So, but actually, did they say something about him just having his shtick is he's just gonna have a performance at WrestleMania? I think that's what it is. I don't think he's got a match. I think he just gets a little bit of time blocked off to job out to somebody.
I could see it. I could see it going over well. I think if he does good enough, this is kind of his time to shine. But I'm still of the belief that Elias will have a match. I would lean towards it probably being he is Braun's partner.
Really?
Which is kind of strange, but I mean, it'd be a good match.
Yeah, I guess there's a story there because they were feuding beforehand.
Right, and it's just like he doesn't have anything. Now, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago where we thought Elias was the replacement for Samoa Joe and that he was going to take on Jon Cena. It never happened. I mean, it's gone. Like, you can't do that right now. Unless the Undertaker's like completely like, no, I'm not doing this, but clearly not.
All right, well, if we're going to talk about it, let's just go right into it. Cena and the Undertaker. For weeks we've been saying, is this not happening? If it wasn't happening, why would they mention it on television? I won't believe he's not there until he's literally not there come WrestleMania time. Matt, I think it's safe to say at this point that the match is on. Yep. I think this is now the second week in a row, or for the second time in 3 weeks, that Jon Cena has come on to Raw television and called out the Undertaker. So you can throw away all your theories about that being a shoot because that is not the case. This is pure storyline at this point. The Undertaker will be there until WrestleMania. I don't believe they will see him until WrestleMania. I don't think he shows up on Raw and does a stare down.
It would have been nuts. If so, it would have been on Monday.
Right. I think it's one of those things where the first time you will see him will be at WrestleMania for the match against Jon Cena.
Which is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that because sometimes, like when they were doing that program last year with The Undertaker and Roman Reigns, and he's showing up at the Rumble, then he's showing up at Raw, it's kind of like,
it takes the mystique out of it.
Right, it takes a little luster off of it. So, yeah, but, oh, man, I mean, Jon Cena, the promo that he cut, and the fans weren't happy. he went out Undertaker harder than Roman Reigns ever did. I mean, he blasted he said about posting workout videos on your wife's Instagram, and I like to think that Jon Cena has the creative control sometimes to come up with his own promos, where Roman Reigns obviously doesn't. But yeah, I think Jon Cena, why not? Why not a Jon Cena heel turn? Come on.
I don't know. Do you consider that a heel turn?
No, not right now.
I was going to say.
But wait till next Monday. I mean, it could get worse.
Well, the idea here is that obviously, no matter how you slice it, it is babyface versus babyface. But if obviously between Jon Cena and The Undertaker, one of them gets booed on the regular basis anyway. So if you're gonna have one of them be the quote unquote heel, it is gonna be Jon Cena, and that's kind of what he was doing here. It's not a full heel turn, but also I think Cena is one of the most underrated promo guys in the history of the company.
No doubt.
He is. He's top 3 for me. I think it's Cena, Rock, and Austin.
It's so bad with Cena. Like, he's so good at promos that people won't even admit he's good. Like, they're just that salty that they're like, oh, that was a bad promo.
See, I don't even think it's saltiness. I think he's just so good at making it sound. It is all so natural. It's so effortless that, like, to me, to casual wrestling fans, when you hear people like, oh, go out there and cut a promo, you know what that sounds like because it sounds scripted. But when Cena does it, it doesn't sound like it's a promo. It sounds like he's just talking from the heart, and that's what makes him so good.
Right, like with Roman Reigns. You can't, like, every promo he cuts is like, dude, we can see through it. Like, you can't come out here and call Brock Lesnar these curse words because we can see through it. Like, when Jon Cena is gonna, when he had the Roman Reigns promo.
Yeah.
I mean, he even went as far as saying, "Come on, kid, it's a promo. You got to be able to cut a promo." So
that's what he does so well. He's so good at being breaking that fourth wall, but doing it in a way that he knows will get a reaction.
And he feeds off the audience, and if they're reacting a certain way, he's gonna say something. And that's what I loved about it, because you have to think that, when Vince decided he was gonna have Roman Reigns retire The Undertaker, he didn't expect to be like this, to still be like, wow, he's still getting heat for it.
Do you think that was the whole Roman Reigns last year retiring The Undertaker? Do you think they genuinely didn't plan for this Cena-Taker match? Because it's been rumored for longer than that Reigns-Taker match.
Well, like you said a couple shows ago, I think that's always been there just because it's never happened. Mm-hmm. So I think that they just didn't think the timing was right, especially because they built the heck out of Cena and Miz, and that was just that was going to happen with the proposal. So it wasn't right for last year. But had the proposal with Nikki Bella not been the storyline, and the Miz with always mocking the House of Cena and everything, I think that would have happened last year. But now here we're going into it, and I think Vince saw how much heat. I don't think he expected that much heat to be put on Roman Reigns. Still, even through the Shield. Bam, here's the Shield. We still hate Roman Reigns.
Well, to be fair, there's the Shield angle, the reunition of the Shield angle kind of fell flat to no fault of their own. But
right. Well, Dean Ambrose getting hurt, and he's not going to be back for WrestleMania.
Well, also Roman got sick,
right?
And they had to replace him with Kurt Angle.
That too, and then and I think Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt got the flu. That was back at No Mercy.
No, TLC.
It was TLC.
Yeah,
TLC,
and then Kurt Angle had to fill in there just because they needed somebody to be a draw.
And we got Finn and AJ out of that.
So it works for me.
Yeah.
Before we go take our second break, assuming Cena and Undertaker does happen, I have 2 questions for you. 1, do they go on last? And 2, who goes over?
I would be shocked if they went on last again, if you put Undertaker last again. I mean, last year.
But it's Cena-Undertaker.
Yeah. How salty was Randy Orton when his match was third from last and it was a WWE title match? Yeah. No, Roman and Brock goes on last. AJ and Shin before that. I guess you might have your WWE title match be third from last again.
Are you gonna have Taker lose 3 WrestleMania matches?
No, but there's also no way that Roman and Brock aren't the main event. There's no way.
I agree with you. I think Roman and Brock are the main event. But I do think, but that's so hard though because Jon Cena, Undertaker, and this is
they could play together.
This is Undertaker's last match.
Yes,
like this,
right.
He's not coming back and doing a retirement match with Kane. I'm sorry.
No.
I would love for that, but he's not doing. They're not. Yeah, that's not happening.
This is all that's left on the table. I mean,
yeah. So this is 100% it. So I don't know how you. It's a tough call.
I mean, it's Brock and Roman.
It's Cena
They could play into each other. Technically, I mean, if these are back-to-back matches, and Undertaker's only been defeated by Brock and Roman, come on, do something.
Right? All right, now I think that's kind of jumping the shark a little bit, but
not creative.
So I'll say I don't think they go on last, but I do think Undertaker will pin Jon Cena. Jon Cena will go away and do his movies and come back at SummerSlam. So we'll take another break. Keep it locked right here on Marking Out.
Spring is approaching, and there's no better way to get ready for spring than with great Penn State apparel from Lions Pride. Right now, it's their biggest sale of the season with up to 50% off on gift items and Penn State apparel from premium brands like Nike, Under Armour, Champion, League, and more. You can also shop the sales selection at lions-pride.com. Whether you're looking to avoid spring showers or want to spend some fun in the sun, Lions Pride downtown has everything you'll need. Don't wait for winter to end and stop by Lions Pride today.
Can't get enough pro wrestling coverage? Tune into Marking Out, Com Radio's first and only podcast exclusively dedicated to everything professional wrestling.
I think that the reason we even have women's wrestling today is because of Ronda Rousey.
But that could easily be the best pay-per-view of the entire year that we just witnessed.
Listen to Jason Marcus and Matt Freiler on Marking Out every Wednesday at 4:30 here on Com Radio.
This year, the Penn State community was able to raise $10,151,000 for Thon 2018. And Lions Pride wants to thank you for helping Lions Pride donate more than $28,000 to Thon 2018. Lions Pride's happy to play a part in the Four Diamonds mission to provide monetary assistance to families and children battling childhood cancer, as well as help fund top-tier research at Penn State Children's Hospital. Thank you again for helping Lions Pride, and we look forward to continuing the mission of Thon in 2019.
Now back to Com Radio's only WWE talk show, Marking Out with Jason Marcus and Matt Freiler.
Welcome back, guys, to the show. And as one of the matches that we haven't yet to talk about is the mixed tag team match that has been verified to take place here at WrestleMania between Triple H and Stephanie McMahon versus the team of Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey. Matt, what are your thoughts on this blockbuster of a matchup?
Well, I mean, one of the things that I did want to mention is that, I don't know if you saw, Jason, but the public salaries got released, and Triple H made more than Vince McMahon this year. I mean, this guy is just at the peak right now. I mean, this dude's making $3.5 million a year.
I mean, he deserves it, to be fair.
I know. This is between his corporate contract and his talent contract, which he does have both, which Kurt Angle made very clear. Stephanie McMahon is also signed to a talent contract, but it's kind of interesting because Shane isn't. Shane just has talent. He's not signed to a corporate contract.
Well, that's pretty because Shane probably doesn't do any work behind the scenes.
But on Raw, we saw Roman Reigns go backstage to talk to Vince McMahon, and there's Shane sitting right next to him. So it's like, that's still a talent appearance, but where was I would like to see Triple H there, but I guess he had something else to do. Nonetheless, match-wise, I think it's going to be awesome. I think that we've seen so much already throughout the mid-2000s with Triple H and Kurt Angle and all the
I mean, those are the
interesting
two.
angles.
Those two guys are going to be the ones that carry that match. For those fans out there listening, don't be surprised if Ronda Rousey doesn't wrestle that much at WrestleMania. Grant, you have to remember, she is very, very green. I understand she's one of the best actual fighters of all time, but there's a difference between mixed martial arts and the WWE, and it's when it comes to professional wrestling, she's still very, very new. So look for Kurt Angle and Triple H to carry that matchup. With that being said, though, Ronda Rousey, one way, whether she's pinning, she will get the fall.
Yeah.
She'll be part of the fall.
Yes. You have to. I mean, that's the only way this thing is going to work out. A lot of people are already kind of upset that when Ronda Rousey debuted at the Rumble that we haven't really seen much from her on Raw. I mean, we had that contract signing at the Rumble and everything, but people have expected her to be there Monday nights, and she's maybe made like one show. So that's kind of showing me that she doesn't really have a role in Monday Night Raw, and it's just going to be at WrestleMania.
I thought it was so funny because the other 2 weeks ago when she made her first appearance on Raw, she said that, like, I'm going to be on Raw every week, and then the next week she wasn't there.
It's like Brock. It's like Paul Heyman comes in, he'll be here next Monday, and then like Monday, where's Brock? So yeah, I get it.
It should be an interesting matchup. I personally am a little bit underwhelmed by it. I think Ronda Rousey hasn't gotten the reaction that they were hoping that she was going to get. She hasn't really done much in terms of ratings-wise, so maybe WrestleMania will be what she needs to get her that big push if it's booked correctly, but otherwise, this could go south very quickly if it doesn't live up to the potential.
Well, what they're sacrificing I mean, this, like you said, this is a big risk because they're sacrificing Braun Strowman and Triple H. I mean, that's what everybody thought because now the Survivor Storyline series, it doesn't matter anymore. It's like that's gone. Like they decided to do that, I think, at Survivor Series because they wanted that feud at WrestleMania.
Well, to be fair, I think this mixed tag team match has been in the works for about 3 years now because it wasn't supposed to be Kurt, it was supposed to be The Rock, and they built that up at WrestleMania 31. So I think now that they got Rousey in the WWE, they had to pull the trigger on this one. Didn't work out quite the way they wanted it to for multiple reasons, but who knows? WrestleMania always has a way of pulling something out of nothing. It's usually pretty good. So.
Well, yeah, we'll see this year. I mean, I'm so excited for AJ Shin. Finally, we got a little bit of build. You know, Shin's still working on his promos. He's getting better, but we got a little bit of backstage build for it. So.
All right, and don't forget tonight also we have NXT, should be a good one. There's a United Kingdom Championship match between the champion Pete Dunne and Adam Cole. Should be a very good matchup. Also, it was announced for NXT TakeOver that they will be debuting a new North American Championship.
Awesome.
It will be decided in a 6-man ladder match, so make sure you tune in for TakeOver the day before WrestleMania for that. For Matt Freiler, I'm Jason Marcus. This has been Marking Out. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys next week.